Hey everybody, it's Mike here. Today we're talking about Starfield, and as you know, there's been a recent Starfield update, actually update 1.11.36. And this update brought a lot of changes and a lot of critiques I made in my original view. They kind of addressed it, but I'm going to kind of get into it and really, if they really redeemed themselves through this update. Because I know Starfield was kind of a disappointing game for many, including myself. I did spend a lot of hours with the game, so I did thoroughly enjoy it for the time I did play it, but I didn't get the same thing as other Bethesda games where I will find myself continually wanting to come back. After I beat Starfield, I was kind of done, and yeah, really kind of let down by the overall product. I mean, it's a great game. It's just I think a lot of people were let down by many promises Bethesda made what this game was supposed to be. So they released this update recently, as of May 15th, 2024, and I'm just going to get into some of the new things they addressed and fixed. So first things I want to mention, probably the biggest addition to this update, is they've actually added improved surface maps. So in my original review, one of my critiques was that the local area maps were really poor and they didn't really tell you much information, and it was just a disappointing altogether. In this new update, they address this. So they've kind of listened to our feedback, which is great to see Bethesda doing, and they've improved the surface maps. And boy, do these maps look good. There's so much detail to them. There's almost too much detail to the point where it kind of ruins the whole allure to kind of go and explore. You can literally see the whole map in 3D, and it looks great. Don't get me wrong. It comes with its pros and cons. Having less detail on the map gives your mind, it forces your mind to kind of, create that visual memory of the location. And when it's there on the map for you, kind of everything's outlined. You can't get lost. You know where everything is. So there's no surprise or that sense of exploration. But at the same time, I think this was an improvement when it comes down to it, because some of these maps and cities are very, they're huge, right? Like, for example, New Atlantis is a huge city, and you can easily get lost. Having the map of New Atlantis, I can't tell you how much it helps. And the maps look pretty damn good. I think this is an overall improvement. I know some people think it kind of ruins the surprise, and I know that this game needed a map before, and before it would only have icons, and you really didn't have a sense of where you're going. Now, another huge addition they've done on the Starfield update is they've added new gameplay options. So if you want an extra challenge or you want certain aspects of the game to be easier, you can customize stuff, right? So you can add hunger, kind of like survival, where you need sustenance, you need to eat, right? They added that to the game, and I think that's awesome. When I play, I'm gonna make sure this is on, because I personally like a survival feel, and I like things to be realistic as possible. So get to tweak other aspects of gameplay, like, ammo weight, so you can make it so ammo is weightless, which I'm just going to do anyway. I'm sick of having to go back into my inventory and clear everything out. So that's a huge improvement. That you can also increase your carry capacity. So that kind of addressed my issue I initially had with Starfield, is it was becoming an inventory management simulator. I swear I was just, half the time I was deciding what to throw out, because cool thing about this game is you do get a lot of decent weaponry, and it becomes quite a choice of what you want to throw away. And I like that they give you that sense of that you don't have to think about that all the time, right? So they added that. They also added healing when you're going to sleep, so that's something you can activate or deactivate, or healing when you eat food. They also, you can remove or limit environmental damage and inflictions, and different stuff like that. Aim assist you could turn off and on. You can kind of toggle the amount of player and enemy ship damage, player combat, player enemy damage. You can make enemy does less damage to you, or vice versa. So you can really toggle the gameplay to suit your, whatever you're looking for on your Starfield game. And that is a really huge improvement to kind of cater your experience. That being said, you could also make it too easy, but then you can also argue that maybe there's certain people that actually enjoy playing this when it's easy. So there's a lot of stuff you can manipulate. And one thing I like that they did add, say if you make it so, you know, certain thing where ammo does weigh, you'll actually get 4% additional experience overall. So it's not like you can just turn something down and, you know, you'll with nothing to lose. So for example, if I want to make the enemy ship damage hard, that means I'm going to get 2% more experience in the long run. So I really like the give or take aspect of it, and it's not just an option menu where you can just toggle anything. So I like that if you make the game easier, you will lose experience for that, and that's how it should be. So I think Bethesda did a great job allowing players to kind of customize their gameplay experience. Now, another huge thing they added to this update is ship decorations. So you know, before I was kind of on ship customization, I was really scratching my head because you can customize the outside of the ship, everything to do with the outside of the ship, but when it comes to the interior, you really couldn't do much. Now they changed that, and that is freaking awesome. So it almost works just like an outpost where you could place items, you know, add decorations and whatnot. And this is really, I wish they had this before in the game when I was pouring tons of hours, because that would have helped. But really I really think they should have add this in the beginning of the game. I don't know why we're getting it now, but thank goodness they added this. I think this was much needed. So now you can actually, you know, customize the interior of your ships. So that's huge. And they added also some more options in terms of those who play on Xbox Series X on the console. So you can kind of change between 30, 40, or 60, or an uncapped frame rate on VRR displays. If you're not running a VRR display, you will still be able to select from 30 or 60 FPS. You know, keep in mind screen tearing may occur at times when selecting 60 FPS for a non-VRR display. And remember, this is for those playing on the console. And they also give you another option where you can kind of prioritize between visuals and performance on console. So that's another display kind of feature we have added. And you can also turn VSync on or off now. You know, they added some other things like, you know, they added tabs to container menus to kind of make managing your inventory easy. And they also added a host of other bug fixes that the game very much needed. So I'm not even gonna get into it because it's literally like 2 pages worth of bug fixes. But they fixed a bunch of quests, and just overall, you're gonna get a lot more of a stable experience playing, thank goodness. The last thing I want to touch up on here about this update is they've improved New Game Plus. So when you enter Unity mode, which is basically New Game Plus, you can now edit your traits and customize the appearance of your character. So that's cool. You can do New Game Plus with essentially a new character with the new skills and everything. And that's really good for those who really want to kind of a fresh playthrough, where, you know, they want to go through the game in a different approach, right? You know, maybe you want to become a stealthier type approach, right? So I like how they kind of gave you that option. Now, overall, I'm going to get to the bottom of really, if does this update save Starfield and fix what it is as a product right now? And I'm going to say Bethesda's on the right direction, but I don't think they're right there yet. Like, this game has a lot of other issues, but at the same time, I think they're on the right direction. I think if they continue releasing updates like this, you know, hopefully we can have a redemption story similar to No Man's Sky, right? But it's really good to see updates like this. It's getting me more excited to play again, because honestly, I was not looking to play it again. But here I am trying it out again. And yeah, these are huge quality of life improvements, but overall, it's not, it's still the same game essentially, but you know, they're on the right direction. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the new Starfield update. I think Bethesda's doing a great job kind of getting this game back on track, but they have a lot of work to do, and we all know that. Yeah, but that's all for this one. If you like this video, please check out my channel, and if you like my content, subscribe. Appreciate it a lot. Other than that, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.